Last thing I read was The Tenderness of Wolves.
The Tenderness of
I don't think
Wolves.
that's by, which is bad. Steph Penny, I think.
Right, and can you give it a sort of 15-word, exactly 15-word? No. Can you give it a brief summary? What am I reading?
A woman in Canada. It's all sort of murder mystery. Well, a death mystery.
Right.
Sort of, and then she has to sort of find out what happened. Really, there's a mysterious death.
I mean, you've not sold it to me in as much as that sounds like it could be any thriller that's ever been written. Someone's killed,
true.
someone finds out who it was.
It was pretty good though.
Didn't she write it all from a kind of bedsit in Clapton, having never ever been to Canada, and yet it gets very much into the mindset of the Canadian tundra?
Yes, that's the one.
Right. That's the one.
Agoraphobic, I think.
Wow, this is brilliant. This is like Rich and Julie's book club.
It is a bit, isn't it?
I think we found a new feature. Yeah, it's 4:15 and a new idea has already struck us. It's the first one in 6 months. and so is new music your thing?
It is, yeah.
Are you endlessly seeking it out?
I'm very much into new music.
And who's sort of tickling you at the moment? Is that a phrase? I don't know what that meant. I meant to what's pleasuring? No, that's not right. What are you into? What's good for you?
I like Candy Payne at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
Back for Lashes, I'm
Sure.
really into them. They should have won the Mercury. It's a bit controversial, I know, but they should have done.
Come on, we've got to be non-biased. It's the
I
BBC.
know.
We've already had our fingers wrapped for being
Gilly Rock,
scandalous.
stuff like that, really.
And so what have you chosen for us?
I have chosen The Count of Monte Cristo by Noisettes.
By Noisettes. Can you tell me anything about Noisettes, or should I just listen?
All I know is that, well, and that might be hearsay, but that their name came from the triangular quality street.
Really?
That's all I know.
Or is it the Noisette Triangle?
Yeah.
It's a triangle.
Right.
Green
Or
foil wrapper.
Noisette,
Green
I'm
foil,
not
I know.
sure.
You can't see me on air, but I'm a very thin person, but I like chocolates.
Well, let's listen to it then. The track is called Count of Monte Cristo.
That's right. Thanks.
Hang loose. The track is The Count of Monte Cristo by... now, are we saying, is it the Noisettes?
Noisettes.
But yeah, it's named after the chocolate, the Noisette. So,
Beatles.
sure, I can go to our chocolate correspondent, Tony. Is it Noisette?
Well, I've always said Noisette.
Sure.
And I would in a music shop.
for
Probably
the
embarrass
Noisettes.
myself and say Count of Monte Cristo by the Noisettes. And
We should point out that if you are buying chocolates for your granny, there are other things available other than Quality Street. What's the other one called?
Roses.
Roses, of course. Those are the two choices you have.
Or Toffee Fee.
Toffee Fee?
Remember Toffee Fee?
No idea.
It's just Brazil's.
Oh, my dad loves them.
I don't know what you're talking about now. You've lost me.
I'm plugging them all.
Yes, thank you very much. And that was a choice of Helen in Oxfordshire. Helen, you still there?
Hi.
I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you.
And it was a good choice. Tony here is just wondering, because he's not a fan of new music, he hates all music. And he was saying, how do the young people of today find out about new music?
Well, I found that one on MySpace. There's nothing to admit to, really, is it? I don't know. It's not very cool anymore, MySpace, is it?
Is it not? Has it already lost its moment?
I think so. I think it's all about Facebook now.
Are you Facebooking?
I am, yeah.
I should just point out, if you try to get in touch with me on Facebook, I am not on Facebook. It is not me. There are various Steve impersonators. Why? I don't know what they achieve from this. Maybe financial gain, I don't know. But yeah, I am not on Facebook. Do not try and get in touch with me. I do not want you as a friend. I want you as a friend, but but I'm not there to accept you as a friend. Just a little public service message there for all Steve fans listening. Thank you very much indeed, Helen. We really appreciate you getting in touch.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good luck with all the book work,
Thank you very much.
and have a lovely Sunday.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Music.
Very excited about that, and also the fact that I've just taken receipt of the new Bruce Springsteen album. I shall be giving it a listen during the week, and no doubt playing a tune from it next week. If you're a Bruce fan like me, then look forward to that. Okay, so we have a cronies in the studio here, and we've welcomed Tony today. And Tony, despite the fact that you fear that you don't know where to go for new music, you've sourced something for me that has taken your fancy that you're going to introduce to us.
yes, I've looked through my extensive Morrissey and Smith's collection, and something came out which wasn't one of those, which was a band recommended to me by my friend Johanna Schwartz, an American lady.
Interesting.
And this is an American band. They hail from New York. They were around in the early 90s. They split up a couple of years ago, and they're called Luna. I don't know if anyone's heard of them. And this is a track called Slide.
Thanks so much. It's got the melancholy guitar sound I'd expect from a choice from you, Tone. If you can't play Morrissey, go for something else. And you've
I
done
think as close to Morrissey as possible.
What was it?
Go on.
Well, I said, what was it?
What was it? Oh, that.
This is actually what I'm doing is I'm throwing in little sort of broadcasting techniques. I know you're new to broadcasting.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll ask you a question to which I need a response.
Like, what is it?
What is it?
That seemed quite an open question to me. Like,
Sometimes he knows the
I don't know
answer.
what you were looking at, There's lots of stuff on the desk and cake, That was Slide by Luna.
Thank you very much indeed. Last week we discovered that Rufus is going to get married. We're very excited for him. The next choice I've chosen is for you. Maybe another a tune you may wish to drop in your during the marriage at some point. Maybe during the prep. As you're getting dressed up.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. All I'm saying is you'll enjoy it. You'll see what you think. And anyway, listen, I'll play it, and then have I got time to play it? Yeah, we can squeeze it before these. Okay, so we'll play this, and then I want to mention some stuff about marriage to you and ask you a question, and then we'll talk about what Sammy's been doing this week, and then the end of the show will be over, and it'll all be the end of me go home. All right, play it. Al Green. From 1974, Al Green, Let's Get Married. News. I want some news. Play the news.
Digital radio.
Recent single from the Super Furry Animals, that's Show Your Hand, on The Steve Show, BBC Six Music, with me, Stephen Merchant, and my cronies, Sammy, Tony, and Rufus. I imagine you all are fans of the Nigel Rees books, the collection of kind of amusing...
Graffiti,
amusing graffiti that he found in toilets. He just, my man, wanders endlessly through public lavatories, writing things down. And I've been thinking to myself, what kind of book would I like to put out, that's a kind of lavatory favourite. And remember last week we were talking about the proposal, Rufus, and you got down on once and everything, thankfully she said yes, and thus you weren't in an embarrassing situation. And I remember mentioning at the time that what we should have done is thrown it out to the listeners, the times where either you've got down on one knee and you've asked and the answer has come back no, and what the repercussions of that were, but also anything you've ever done or said where you've opened your views on something, you've opened your heart, you've told someone what you think, you've said something that's out there then, hanging in the air, and you can't take it back, and you wish you could. And I'm thinking that if we can compile over the weeks a good selection of these, no Christmas book, alright? We'll all get a little share of it. The listeners contribute, we pocket the cash. Alright? And anyway, so 64446 stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk. Times where you've said something, maybe you've got down on one knee, that's your starting point, but it can be anything. You told your boss something, it came back to haunt you. I remember being at university, and a guy I was friends with was going out with a girl, and they split up. And I said, oh yeah, you know what, none of us like her, she's blah blah blah, and I was trying to comfort him, she's this, she's that, she does blah blah blah, we were slagging her off, he was like, yeah, thanks. About a week later, we got back together. They got back together. It was all out there then. It was all out there, you can't take it back.
I was reminded one of my brother's super posh friends had someone say to him the other day, guess what, I'm very excited, I've decided to tell everyone, might as well, I'm a homo. And what he'd actually said, of course, was homeowner.
Yes.
But by the time, but as soon as the other guy heard it, it was, well, to be honest, we all suspected at Cambridge, was what he said. No, homeowner.
Oh, homeowner.
Homeowner.
Oh, I like the idea that if you're going to come out of the closet, you'd say, I'm a homo.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what, guys? I'm a homo.
Yeah, I'm a homo, yeah.
Wow, so yeah, if you've, if anything, I think, as I say in Seinfeld, that's a pretty big matzo ball, whatever that may be, to leave hanging out there. So yeah, 64446 stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk. We'll compile them over the months, I'm sure, and we can put out a novelty Christmas book. So Sammy, we were going to probe you. How's your week been?
It's been varied. But I started a new course this week. I've started a photography course.
Oh, well done.
So now I have a nice big thing around my neck that proves I am a geek to the passing person in the street. But it was really exciting. I got myself all hyped up and I got a shiny new camera and I'm very excited. And I thought it was all going to be cool young people and wanting to take really artistic photographs. There's me, 4 very old gentlemen with trousers higher than the sun. A very odd man, who I would describe as mental, but it's probably not very PC.
I don't think you're allowed to.
He won't touch or do anything for fear that something's going to happen. He wouldn't pick up a camera because he'd drop it. He wouldn't do anything. He was terrified of everything.
Didn't show up.
There was a quadriplegic man.
Really?
Yeah, and his carer.
And how is he going to take photos?
That was my exact thought. Lovely bloke.
Sure.
Great, probably the best sense of humour of anyone in the class.
Well, you'd need a good personality, wouldn't you?
Literally couldn't understand. So his carer's going to have to take the photos for him, so he's not really doing any photography. Sure. And an actual tramp.
An actual
tramp. It was... And because they put on name tags on the seats and things, I had to sit next to him. I sat between tramp and... mental.
You can't say it.
You can't. He's probably not. He's just a nervous man. Bless him. But yeah, I don't know
So
if
hang
it's
on, how is
eccentric.
how is a tramp allowed into these?
If you're on any sort of benefit, you get a course for free. And he didn't have any equipment with him, so I don't know if he just goes to the first class of every course on the syllabus
Sure.
just to make friends.
Were there free sandwiches?
There wasn't, no. The smell was outrageous. He had long, gnarled, yellow fingers, black, shiny hands. His hair at the back had turned into dreadlocks. It was so matted.
Sure.
And I had to sit next to him. So the teacher would give us a camera to look at. So the tramp would lean in on the left, which would make me lean away from him and towards the slightly nervous man.
Sure.
He would freak out because I was leaning towards him.
Yeah.
And it was just like an absolute farce.
This is extraordinary.
I went on my break and my whole left side smelt of wee and biscuits. It was horrible. It
Wow.
was literally just my left side as well, because the slightly nervous gentleman had kind of stayed quite far away from me on the other side.
And I mean, was it a young tramp? Was
No,
it?
he's probably, I'd say, 50 or 60. Of course,
Sure.
it could just be a really hard life and he's about 30.
Yeah.
But I literally didn't know how to react. And I've been thinking about it all week. Is he just eccentric? Is he a millionaire and he's just indulging? He wants to do photography.
Sure.
But he came out with something brilliant. The teacher was saying, you can get this camera. This is a great camera. This is the next model up and this is the best one. It's about $2,000. And the tramp went, well, surely I should get the best one. And I'm thinking, well, surely you should have a bath.
That's point one.
Well, yeah, just,
Don't worry about your Nikon.
it was unreal. Will I need a UV filter? Just some soap, anything.
I like the fact that he even knows these terms.
I do like sitting next to him. My car did smell horrendous after the trip home.
You gave him a
Did you take him home?
Didn't it? You just
dumped him with something. It's very easy with a tramp. You can just drop him anywhere.
I'm also hoping that, because you're using the word tramp, that we're talking about a proper old-fashioned rural homeless man,
Yeah.
like in the two Ronnies.
With a napkin on a stick.
Yeah, he's got a little handkerchief on a stick, which he unwraps as an Instamatic.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little Polaroid.
I'm so excited that he's there because it's going to make the rest of the class so interesting. And then the teacher came around and said, would you rather work on your own or in a group? And I've never responded to a question so fast in my life.
What?
I work on my own, thanks,
Sure.
it's fine.
And so is this sort of, where is this taking place, that they're allowing homeless people in?
It's a local college. It's literally just a normal course, which I thought would be normal people. But it's just old, bitter men and all these other people with problems, massive problems. When the teacher was going to hand the camera to the nervous man, he was like, I can't hold that. Well, why can't you hold? Well, I'll drop it on the floor. Well, no, just hold it. Oh, I can't hold the camera. And it was like, oh, goodness. And I said, oh, well, I might buy one on the internet, on the very famous auction site. He went, oh, you can't trust them. Horrible things happen on there. And it was just everything. I think
This is extraordinary.
it was brilliant.
It's got the makings of a kind of quite a sad, melancholy play, where you're all disparate individuals who slowly find a kind of common bond. And,
I swear, even if the teacher, the lesson, even if it had been awful, I would still be staying for the rest of the year just to see what's going to happen between these people.
I don't want to seem perverse, but I do feel drawn back to the quadriplegic man, just because I don't know how he can hold the camera, or.
Well, he can't.
And does the carer hold the camera in front of their eye? His eye?
Oh, yeah, he was like,
He's got two eyes.
Yes. Oh, and 4 unusable limbs. But he was really sweet and he had a great sense of humour. He's going, you're a very short lass. I bet you've never had to move out the way for anyone before, so he could see stuff at the front.
Does the carer allowed to speak, or do they have to remain quiet so as not to sort of...
Carer was a bitter, nasty man.
Was he?
Yeah, he was interrogating the tutor. I'm thinking, shut up, you haven't paid to be here. You're
Sure.
being paid to be here. Just comp it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to
Help
say
your mate out. Don't
you should
be
vocalise that
swine.
next time.
I think I might.
And you've had quite a number of run-ins with tramps, isn't it?
Do you know what it is? I'm like a freakin'. That's what
tramp
I often
magnet.
call myself. I'm a freak beacon. It's tramps. Last Sunday, I was slightly delayed in going home. I bumped into a tramp who I've had a dealing with before. He's licked my face in the past.
Sure.
We had a nice conversation, then he licked my face, and I was freaked out. And I saw him, I haven't seen him for about a year and a half, and he didn't remember who I was, and I felt really sad.
Did you?
I thought he might have remembered it, like we'd had some sort of moment and
You've made a
reconnected.
connection,
But no, he licks everyone, doesn't he?
He does,
I
doesn't he?
wasn't special.
You're
I meant
gutted.
nothing to him.
Wow, it's extraordinary. I'm looking forward to the further adventures of your camera course.
wait.
This is going to be dynamite.
BBC 6 Music.
It's the Steve Show with me, Stephen Merchant, and you can get in touch. 64046 is the text, stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk. If you want to suggest a song, then you can get onto the website, and I'm sure it's fairly straightforward from there. I've not investigated it myself. And we've been getting people in touch today. We're talking about things